Not making any money in the construction space, struggling to stay busy? I'm here to teach you how to be a successful contractor. Let's dive right in. First things first, you have to focus on helping people. Remember, at the end of the day, people have everything we want, right? You're in business to make money and provide a service, but keep in mind, make money. So you don't have the money, well, where are you gonna get it? You gotta go get it from people. So many times I've seen in my career, contractors are just hyper focused on their trade. And that's great, right? To me, when you're a professional, you have to deliver a professional job. That's a given. Your craftsmanship has to be of the utmost highest level. However, at the end of the day, you cannot drop the ball when it comes to dealing with people, right? You have to pick up the phone. You have to respond quickly. You have to be a professional, okay? We shot a whole video on this, and it's super important. You really need to make sure that you're delivering a good experience, right? Then those same people will give you referrals and they'll tell all their friends and they'll be really happy. But it has to be people focused, not trade focused. So many times it's look at my craftsmanship, but you put the client through hell to get them there because you moved the date 6 times, you didn't show up, you didn't follow up, nobody communicated, and yeah, at the end of the day, pretend we're doing concrete. They got this great patio, but it was miserable to get there, and they're not gonna tell anybody about that, and it doesn't benefit your business long term, which means it doesn't help you stay busy. Each job, as a rule of thumb, should translate into 5 more jobs. That's our goal here, and it should be your goal too. Next, you have to remember ABP. Always be promoting, okay? At the end of the day, it takes marketing to drive a business. And this goes back to my original thesis on operating as a real business. Even if it's just you and a helper, you're a 2-man company, maybe you're a 10-man company, you cannot drop the ball when it comes to marketing, right? You always need to be promoting. When you're in the customer's neighborhood, you're working on a house, try and introduce yourself to the neighbors. You have to always promote so that you make sure you stay busy. I like to use the analogy of farming, right? You have to plant the seeds to get the crops to grow. So you need to plant hundreds of seeds while you're focusing on the customer and while you're doing the job, so that by the time you finish that job, the phone rings again, right? Everything in cycles, but it's like a well-oiled machine. You can't do one without the other. So many times I see this happen all the time. People will wait until, oh shit, I don't have any work, and then they start marketing. It has to be constant, it has to be consistent, and you want to make sure that you really dial it in and be consistent with your messaging and your branding, right? Most importantly, it's consistency is key. Not only does the marketing have to be consistent, but you need to be consistent when it comes down to actually doing it. Take 15, 20 minutes a day and make it happen. We are so blessed to live in a time we got Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I mean, there are so many places to reach people, but you have to be dedicated and committed to make it a habit to religiously post content and reach out to the community that you're serving. Because remember, it's all about people, and let me tell you, you can't help anybody if the phone's not ringing. I believe if you're a great craftsman, you deliver a great product, you have a great service, then it's your duty to get that to people in the marketplace, right? At the end of the day, do you want somebody looking for, let's pretend once again, we're concrete guys. Do you want somebody to get a patio from your competition who isn't as good as you, doesn't deliver a great experience, so they end up getting a shitty job? No, it's your responsibility to get the word out there so that they can have what you have to offer and they can have the best experience and the best product. But it all starts with promoting, and even when times are fucking great, you're killing it, the phone won't stop ringing, that's when you still need to remember, promote. Lastly, when it comes to dealing with people, dealing with customers, writing estimates, starting a job, you need to remember to under-promise and over-deliver. I mean, I want you to over-deliver by a long shot with your attention to detail, right? Your level of communication, your customer service, and your follow-up, right? So many times in contracting, when the job's over, it's just poof. You freaking ghost them, right? It's over. No, you need to call them, check in with them, and more importantly, don't promise things that you cannot deliver. I see this so many times because we're in those spots where you're desperate to sell a job, you really want to get this job, so they ask you, hey, I just saw one recently, I want to put the flooring in with no baseboard. And keep in mind, this is a remodel. This was not new construction. They're putting click-lock flooring down. Well, guess what? They go and do the whole job, and they don't have a nice straight line at the end because they assume, the installer, that it was going to be covered with baseboard and quarter round and shoe molding like any other floor, and it wasn't communicated properly from the estimator to the crew. So now, even though they did this beautiful floor, the customer feels let down, they're not getting any referrals, and it's just a stupid way to drop the ball when it could have been done differently. They could have just said, hey, that's a weird request, we're happy to honor it, we're happy to do our best, but I can't make any promises, and then make it a point to make that happen. That's just one easy, stupid example. There are so many more. Just make sure that when you agree to, hey, we're gonna caulk all the areas that need caulk, like us as a painter, then not only are we gonna caulk those areas, we're gonna make sure if there's any areas that are even remotely cracking, we're gonna rip that out, re-caulk those, and all of it's going to be done in the best elastometric caulk that's available. At the end of the day, that's above and beyond. You want to go above and beyond to help them, not just in the quality, not just in the products, but in the experience. Maybe they have a tough schedule. Maybe you make sure you shut the gate for their dog. Maybe you bring the trash up from the road. Treat it like it's your property, but ultimately do not get yourself in trouble. Don't do it. Don't promise things that you cannot deliver. It is much better to under-promise and over-deliver. I promise you, it will work so much better. I hope these tips help you. If you like this video, check out the last video we just did on optimizing your business, and stay tuned for our next video on how to stay busy in construction. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and most importantly, share it with somebody who needs it.